Kia ora whānau. So some of you have been asking exactly how do we set up the boards. Just a little reminder, because it's always a few months between when we end school and when we set up our first board again. So the specifics are create new. Now what we want to go to is portrait orientation and centimetres. And remember, the width is 61 centimetres and the height is 81 centimetres. Portrait orientation, create. Okay, so then you're going to end up with something like this. Now this is when you start to drag and drop your images onto your board. Now just for the sake of an example, I'm going to take some work from previous years and just drop it on and start to create a board. So remember, it's definitely about how you're grouping images. So you're going to drop your image on and you're going to see that it comes up with the 9 points there. At this time, that means that you can resize it. Click on the move tool so that you can move it to where you want it. And if you decide you want to make it even smaller than that and resize it, it's either Command T if you're on a Mac or Control T if you're on a Windows machine. Resize it even more. You're looking at about 5 to 6 rows. So if you've got an idea of what you're going to have for each row, then that's absolutely fantastic. So maybe you're going to start with your neon at the top here if I was putting together a board with a theme, and then move to images of faces below. Oops, sorry, can't do anything until I've popped it there. Alternatively, of course, you can, please excuse the noise in the background. Alternatively, of course, you can pop them all row by row, and then or just dump them all on and see what happens, and then move them around and see where they fit together. It's, you know, each line should be a series. Each grouping should go together. So as you can see here, I'm just popping this one together here. None of these images were taken by the same photographer, but I'm just showing you how grouping might work. So of course this is a board of startlingly different images, but it's for the sake of showing you how to arrange and how to group. Make sure your spacing between each image is even. That's very important as well. There should be very, very little white space, or what we call negative space, on a board. Okay, make sure when you go to save it, you go File, Save As, and it's got to be a Photoshop file so that you can continue to edit it. Now let me just show you an example that I found on a card the other day of a finished board. Here we are. This was a level 3 board. This was board number 2 in a series of 3, and it achieved. Now this looks like it's got a lot of negative space in the bottom here. It actually, the entire portrait was quite big. What this board was lacking definitely is a third image here in a similar style, probably with, in order to add balance, it would have been with the same shirt in the same style here, facing the opposite way probably, and maybe with one of these items that he's holding up here. Okay, so that's how you put together a board. And as you can see, as I was talking about, clearly each image is related in that series. So he's dressed in the black in these 3. There's the headdress here as a continuing theme. All right. Please, once you have put together your first board, send it to me for some feedback.